You serious?
Hello, this is How to Kill an Hour. I'm Marcus Bronzy.
And I'm Nick Bright. What's going on?
Plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Right now, you're going to kill some time with us. Before we go on with today's show, Nick, there's one place that the listener can go to join the tribe, the fam, the How to Kill an Hour gang, and find out about all the ways we're killing time, and also get access to exclusive competitions, giveaways, etc, 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 etc. Where is that, Nick?
Yeah, howtokillanhour.com/news is where you need to go.
That's right, howtokillanhour.com/news. Now, on today's show, we have got a very special guest.
Is it Bill?
No, he's not. You'd kind of describe Billy as a very ungrateful guest.
Ungrateful?
He's the sort of guy that will come to your house and you'll go, hey man, like, do you want a drink? And he'll be like, right, I like hot drink or cold drink. He'd say cold drink. And then he'd be like, what have you got? And I'd be like, squash or juice or something. And then he'll go, is that it? Like, you got no cola.
Yeah.
Got no lemonade.
Got no fizzy pop. Old school, that, innit?
Fizzy pop. You get me? So, yeah, we've not got an ungrateful guest. We've got a grateful guest in here today. How you doing, David? You right?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, man. Please introduce yourself fully. Full name, please, sir.
David Avery.
Yes.
That is the full name.
That is you, man. And you've been up to a lot, which I can't wait to discuss on today's show.
Okay.
You are an actor, right?
I'm an actor, yeah.
Professional
actor with cameras and costumes.
Get paid for it and everything, bruv.
As opposed to a pretend one.
Yeah.
Like, these pretend actors out here.
Even though you
walking
pretend
around.
to be other people.
Pretending to pretend to, yeah.
So you're a professional pretender.
Professional pretender, you could say.
Nice.
So right now, we don't even know if he's being himself.
Exactly.
Oh, Inception. Oh.
Wow. You could just be practicing your craft at this moment in time.
Jedi mind tricks right now. Just
Looking at him side eye.
Well, you've been up to some great stuff, and it'll be great for us to discuss that in our killer bit, which is at the start of the show. We talk about how we've been killing some time. Nick Bright's also been killing some time. I've also been killing some time. Because mine is the most trivial, can I go first? Because I feel like if we got out what David's been doing and what Nick's been doing to kill some time, my trivialness will not really resonate very well with you listening. You'd be like, oh, is that it? So if we start small and get bigger, is that a better way?
Grower, not a shower.
Grower, not...
Why not?
I think I can live by that rule in life. I'm definitely more of a grower than a shower. I've been on the internet this week just cruising around looking at stuff, and I thought I'd share something that I found quite funny. You might have heard of him. He's calls himself the first social commentator to rhyme over grime. Right? So this guy does social commentary over grime music. I'm a big fan of grime music. If you're from the US and you don't know what grime is, it's like UK version of rap over a slightly faster beat, and only we can do it. Yeah. I feel like only the UK can really do grime. Yeah. Sorry if you're listening from another part of the world and you feel like you can have a go, yeah, but like making a cup of tea, it can only really be made over here in the UK.
Like when you go abroad and they serve you up some beans that ain't Heinz.
Hey, come on, bruv.
Yeah.
Come on, bruv. Yeah. Come on, bro. And what's this talk I hear about over there? Beans isn't served for breakfast. Like beans is a weird breakfast thing over here.
So dead.
Yeah, man.
When you go to the States and it's like, you guys eat beans? It's like, yeah, man. Like, get the beans out.
Get me some beans, man. Like, what's it like over there? You can get like a full breakfast. No, a full dinner for breakfast. That's cool. That's acceptable. Yeah. But I can't get beans. I get steak and chips.
It's mad, isn't it? A whole cow on the plate.
Yeah. So anyway, Grime Journalist is his name. You can find him on Instagram and also on Twitter as well. Now, I kind of like social commentary, but I like one type of commentary which he does, which is football related. He gives you football roundups over grime. So I'm going to give you an example of what the Grime Journalist does. You can let me know what you think of it, guys.
The Premier League game week 35. Arsene Wenger said he's stepping down. Then Arsenal beat West Ham 4-1. West Brom 2, Liverpool 2. The Baggies came back from 2-0 down. Stoke 1, Burnley 1. It looks like the Potters are going down. Man City 5, Swansea 0, Watford 0, Palace 0, Everton 1, Newcastle 0. Walcott scored the winner still. Semi-finals of the FA Cup. Tottenham, yeah, they went 1-0 up. Dele Alli started dancing and that's where Man United turned up.
There we go, bruv. I kind of like it because as an Arsenal fan, I'm very happy that Wenger's left, and as an Arsenal fan, I'm happy that Tottenham lost. What are your thoughts on that, though?
I mean, the beat's Aggie. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't necessarily enjoy his rhyming still with still. Like the same word twice, you know what I mean? And only Wiley's allowed to get away with that.
Only so many words rhyme with nil, though.
Still,
Bill,
Phil,
till.
There's loads.
Lil, Kill. All right, so you reckon he needs more? It needs more in there.
Needs to expand the vocab a bit, you know, if I'm being hypercritical, but it's a good idea.
I think social commentary is good over grime.
Why not?
Fan of grime and
grime improves everything. Like,
it's just made the football score. Like, if the football scores were delivered like that, I guarantee you there'd be a surge in listenership anywhere that is delivered.
What we should do, right? Because I've been working a bit with BBC Sport. I should show the guys there and be like, you don't want to attract a younger audience. You know? What you need to do is just get rid of the old bread that does the football results. You know, it's always an old person. Have you noticed that? You know, when they go, now we're going to go over to blah, blah, blah for the classified results. And there's always a guy that sounds like he's in a rocking chair with a pipe in his mouth.
Bored, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's like, West Brom 1, Arsenal 4. It's like always like super old. Like, how about we just bin him off, get rid of him? I mean, he ain't got long left anyway, you know what I mean? So get rid of him. And then we can get the young social commentary grime dude in. Can you imagine all the old people at home? Oh, I'm ready for the nice results. Sit down, listen to the lovely results. And then bang, 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 bang. Like, just be sick.
What do you think of it, David?
I like it. I'm a fan of grime as well, so I like how it's kind of rippling out into other things and it's getting creative. It's not just the how it started. So I would listen to that, definitely.
Okay. When you say you're a fan of grime, are you a recent fan of grime, or have you been a fan of grime for a while?
I've been a fan of grime for a long time, before it was called grime. So when it was, I guess there was many names for it back in the day, like Esky Beat,
Sublow,
Garage,
yes, right.
Two-Step, many different. So yeah, but I'd say Wiley's, Kano's first album and Dizzy's first album were just like childhood right there. Just Treading Off in Ice, Home Sweet Home.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like the real foundation stuff, the foundation albums in the grind scene.
And So Solid as well, which again, they were more garage really back in the day.
That was the entry point wasn't it? Like So Solid, Heartless, More Fire. All those guys came from like originally from garage, and that was kind of when it started morphing into grime.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Good times, man. I feel like I was happy that I was around when that sort of music was fresh and brand new on the streets, bro.
Yeah, but now it's drill, bruv. Drill's the new grime, innit?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe because it's not for me. Like, I'm a little bit older. Maybe it don't connect with me. I think it's all right.
Marcus there with the brandy glass in hand. I'm more mature now.
With Arsenal now. Tottenham.
Marcus sitting there listening to Home Sweet Home, just like, I'm more mature now. Some man don't like me. They try and badmind me.
Pop, then we're out.
I don't understand this drill stuff though. It's not for me.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. But it's just, I don't know, man. You know,
I don't know what
listen
drill
to
is.
certain...
I'm sitting here. What do you mean by drill? What's drill?
So like Section Boys, 6-7, stuff like that. Like the kind of, it's kind of like UK rap, but a bit faster.
Right. So it's somewhere in between maybe hip hop and grime.
Yeah, almost. And it's very kind of aggressive, and they talk about trap houses a lot and stuff like that. It's kind of like what the young people are listening to now. And now drill is massive, especially topically with all the things that are going on in London with a lot of young people, you know, suffering violence and stuff. I don't know if you've seen any of the news, but people are talking about drill music being an influence on the violence and things like that.
Right.
Like, it's in the spotlight at the moment.
But they were saying that as well with grime back in the day. Like, do you remember when Powell was coming on the clubs and they had to ban that?
Yeah, it was banned.
When Powell, it was banned because there was so much energy when it came out.
And they did the same with gangster rap in the US. It's just the easy thing to blame.
It's quite secular, the way the culture does that, But was I meant to play some drill?
I thought you were looking for some drill, but you know, instead you're on Tinder, bruv. I don't know what you're doing.
You're gonna feel like it's quite grimy though.
It's like UK trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jammer Beats on the beats on this one.
Money Avery on the track.
Trap.
Yeah.
Trap.
In a trap house.
Yeah.
House of trap. Trap in the house.
Trapping them out. Clapping them out.
So there we go. Yeah, there's some drill for you. There you go.
And also, like, not that this is like a hardcore music podcast. We talk about loads of different things, but like a lot of it comes from, or a lot of the guys model their flow and sound on gigs actually.
Yeah,
I was going to say, when gigs came through, it's very kind of like low key as opposed to grime. The MCs are very like high energy.
Still MCing it, isn't it? It's still kind of
it's so high energy as well. Like when you watch a grime artist, it's very like up there, but like a lot of drill artists, it's like the whole point is to be almost like
calm.
Yeah, it's like super calm.
Calm with it, man. Very reclined. So yeah, that's how I've been killing some time. Basically, I've been listening to some grime with some social commentary, man. So shout out to yourself if you want to check out a bit more of the grime journalist. Check that out, man. Get me. How you been killing some time, though, Nick?
Right. Well, what I've been doing actually is in this very room where we are right now. I've been playing with the Nintendo Switch, but not just any old Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Labo Joy-Con 1 and 2 packs. And I don't mean 2-pack Shakur. I mean, it's the 1-pack and a 2-pack. Yeah. And what that is, if you've seen it, but you're not aware of what it's called, it's the cardboard stuff. That's the best way to describe it. It's available for the Switch. So it's all different things that are made out of cardboard that you slot your Joy-Cons into, and you can do loads of different things like play the piano, ride a motorbike, go fishing. There's one called a house where it's literally like, I mean, it's in my hand right now. It's literally a house made out of cardboard, and it's got lots of different things that you like put into the side or the bottom or the top or whatever, and it just does random things when you're playing the game. I couldn't really work out what the hell I was doing. I think we're going to have a video up on the How to Kill an Hour website.
We will indeed.
So you'll be able to see it there. But yeah, it's interesting. There's loads of different variations of this. As I mentioned, you can go swimming, fishing as well, which I got to say, fishing is not the most addictive and like immediately gripping sport in inverted commas in the world, but it's so addictive on this game. / annoying. I think Nintendo are the masters at making like annoying games that you want to play more of. Like Super Mario's the king of that, you know what I mean? Even like when you lose on Super Mario, whose idea was it, right? Who in the Nintendo offices was like, I know what we're going to do, right? When you lose, which is annoying enough as it is, we're going to put a really irritating bit of music that just makes you even more annoyed. Like, what's all this about? Like, so yeah, the fishing was very annoying because the line snaps. If you get like a big fish on there, it's quite realistic, I guess, because that happens in real life. But when I'm playing the game, it's like once I got the fish on the hook, man, come on, I want the fish. Like, it's mad annoying when it breaks, and I'm like, I got to flip and go and get the fish again. What is this shit? It's annoying, but it's good, man.
You did the house.
Yeah.
You did the fishing. Motorcycle.
I did the motorcycle, which was live. That was easy for me because, you know, man's an R1 rider out here. You get me? No, I'm joking. I had a Gilera runner. SP 125 back in the day. You get me? 2-stroke. Bored it out to 172 as well. Like.
You did that?
Yeah, on a gas ting, like, so it's faster, innit?
Please explain to the listener how you do that and what that is, bro. So you spec it really?
Yeah, like you basically like tweak it so it's 125cc when you get it. We can do certain things to it that make it higher cc, but you're not meant to do it because you're only allowed to ride up to 125.
Right.
So yeah, basically, well, the police ain't going to come and get me now anyway. What are you going to do 10 years later? So yeah, you put like a different exhaust on it, air filter. There's loads of different things you can do to it, and you push it up to 1.7. I think it's 1.72 anyway. I can't remember exactly. Was it 1.76? Anyway, you push it up, and it just makes it faster.
And you could actually feel a lot of difference in it when you did it. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it was a 2-stroke anyway. Like, again, this is the music podcast that talks about motorbikes, yeah, and tech. It's because it is a 2-stroke. It was faster than a 4-stroke anyway. So now most mopeds are 4-stroke,
right?
Because of something to do with the environment. I don't know, spoiling the fun. So when they were 2-stroke, they were a bit faster off the line, a little bit quicker, etc., etc. Now they're all 4-stroke.
All right,
but whatever.
I had a 50cc.
Yeah, come on.
What did you have, David?
When I was 16 for about a year, I had a 50. But I know what Nick was talking about. Yeah, I didn't.
You had the Gilera runner as well, did you?
It wasn't. No, it was Gilera. It wasn't a runner though. It was like it was a black and yellow 50 basic one, and I had it for about a year. I had a lot of fun on it, and then I just wanted a car straight after.
Yeah, with a heater. Funnily enough. Yeah. Like, because a moped, I tell you, in the summer, you can't beat it, man. It's so good in the summer when it's hot and you're just like driving around. But then in the winter when it's raining, cold, it's not the one. And also, like back then, I used to have like real short hair. Now I got long hair, the helmet would kill me, man.
If you put the helmet on and it was a hot day and then took the helmet off, I don't think your barnet would survive.
But it's not even that. It wouldn't survive. My barnet would just be like sideways. I'll be going into places looking like, who's ready for an old school reference? Wurzel Gummidge.
Wow.
Yeah, man took it back.
Wow.
Way back.
Yeah, Wurzel Gummidge.
Wurzel Gummidge.
I reckon producer Bill's like, I don't even know what Wurzel Gummidge is. Yeah, see, he doesn't know what it is.
He's keeping in contact with the youth, them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why we need him. Otherwise, we could just,
He's staying. He's keeping us relevant, bro. Just about.
Whilst just sitting there with your brandy, listening to Home Sweet Home, going, I'm not really into this drill.
I've not got punchlines, but I've got kick lines. Okay, cool. So you did the motorbike. So the variety kit, the 01 kit, that's what it's called, the Toy-Con kit. Summary, what do you think of it? Like, is it? What are your thoughts on it? Because I'm going to be honest, I built it and Nick played it. So from the building side of it, I thought it was pretty cool putting it together. What was it like playing it?
Yeah, see that? I imagine it's quite therapeutic to build it because, you know, when I buy furniture from IKEA, I quite enjoy building it. Is that an unpopular opinion?
I hate IKEA.
But I can see what you mean though.
It's like the progress, the like process and the progress is nice. Like as you can see each bit getting closer to the end, you're like, this is looking good. And then you just, once you've done it, you step back and you just take a look at it and go, I did that.
That's my work.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Yeah, that's it. All right, that's how I felt. I don't get that when I'm putting together IKEA furniture, that level of excitement. But yeah, putting together the little bits and kind of seeing how stuff works. Kind of like, I was like, oh, cool.
It's like the same thing, man. But to summarize, I thought it was good. The only thing I will say is that there's a lot of separate little pieces. You know, are they easy to lose? Are they easy to keep hold of? Are they easy to store? I don't know. It depends on your personal scenario, but
I was doubtful with the soft. I mean, David's having a look at it now. But pick that up if you want, bro. We're about to talk about that other bit of Labo stuff as well. It's quite durable, right? Wow. The cardboard, because it's made out of card, so it's kind of like.
He's got a big bit.
Yeah, he's got a big bit that we'll talk about in a sec. I can't wait to talk about that. So I agree. They give you spare bits in it, and they tell you this is a spare bit, keep it safe. But I was saying when I first got my hands on this is like, what about, not if, when it breaks? It's cardboard. Like, what are we going to do? Now, they've got 3 sections, which is make, play, discover is their thing. And part of the make, they also give you a section to fix broken bits on it. So if bits break, they recommend how to fix it because they kind of know where the pressure points are and where things can wear down. It's like they've not just rushed this out, they've had to think about after use what bits are going to get mashed. And because it's made out of cardboard, I kind of can see you hacking bits of it together. Do you know what I mean? To make bits work.
But what if you've got A, children, B, a pet? Cats like to sharpen their claws on cardboard. Dogs like to chew cardboard. You know what I mean? You can't. I know Nintendo can't protect you against every eventuality in life, but I do think, what if it gets wet? If someone spills a drink on it, it's cardboard, man.
I suppose if somebody poured a drink on most things, they wouldn't really.
Yeah,
survive.
but I don't know. Like, I just feel like with your console, it's normally like in front of the TV somewhere, like, you know, somewhere where you're not going to be swinging, you know, beer bottles or water bottles around your head. But like with something like that, the robot kit that you've just pulled out over there, the backpack is massive. Like, where are you going to store that? It's quite big. It's basically bigger than a regular backpack, I would say. It's definitely like deeper than a regular backpack. It definitely
looks like a year 7's backpack on their first day of school.
Yeah.
That's what
or it just makes you look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like with a big half shell on your back.
I'd pay extra for that. And you can paint it green as well. We're talking about the Toy-Con kit too. So sorry, the Toy-Con kit 1, that's your thoughts on it basically, yeah? So you think generally Labo's cool, but you think the wear and tear could be an issue.
And also I don't know, I haven't played it long enough to decide whether I think it could be a gimmick or not. Yeah. Because I only been hands-on with it for about an hour. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I enjoyed it, and there's lots of variety. But after a while, you might just go, oh, is this a gimmick? Can I be bothered to get that out every time? I don't know.
I mean, personally, I think it's got legs. The build time, it's not like a toy that you'd get and build in a weekend. Like, I built the stuff just to get it out there and get it done for the show quick. But if you got kids, or if you are a big kid like myself and you took some time with it and bought one of these packs, there's a good few weekends of fun. Plus, I think cardboard wise, I'm going to be honest, people are going to be out there selling wonky versions of this.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think Nintendo will be cool with it because they've sold the software. because you have to use the software with it, and you get the cardboard with it. I think if you're to hack together your own bits or get some cheap bits of cardboard and remake broken bits, they'll be cool with that. Boom. But they also have extra levels to it. So there's like other things you can make that they recommend you can make. You can go down to like a programming level and program stuff in. So there's like a guitar apparently you can make with the variety pack if you want to learn that. And there's like an area of it, Discover, where they kind of teach you how it works. So like what bits inside the Nintendo Switch are doing what, and how you can make your own things as well. So I think like if you really wanted to sit down with it and mess around with it as kids do, there could be spec for you to kind of do things that it wasn't designed for, like classic hacks. Do you know what I mean?
So like when people jailbreak iPhones and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think they're encouraging it because there's a video that I saw when I was messing around with it real quick where someone was using the fishing rod, which Nick had, to make some other part of the variety pack work, which wasn't necessarily fishing. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite interesting. But you had to go on that, right? The variety pack, there's a piano in there, there's a motorbike in there, there's a
fishing rod,
that's
house.
it. And the house, the Tamagotchi house. Then you also had to go on the Toy-Con 2 robot kit.
Yeah, now this was next level. Like I said, we've already described it briefly. It's a massive backpack that you actually wear, and then there's like 4 different bits. Like you strap a bit to each limb, literally. One goes in one hand. The one in David's hand at the moment with the green string that goes on your foot. So you strap that round one of your feet, one on each foot, one on each hand, and you are essentially a robot. And there's a thing that goes on your head as well, actually.
Yeah, the visor.
There's
a visor.
Which you can snap down and snap up, like to make it look like you're a real superhero. Like, whoosh, whoosh. And you're a robot. And essentially in the game, you roam around smashing up buildings and stuff, cars, buildings, objects, by literally throwing punches and walking. What I will say is if somebody is watching you through the window and they can't see the screen, I mean, it's just like VR in that sense, though. If somebody's watching you through the window playing VR, you're just going to look mad, you know? Like, and that is, with this, it reminded me of like, you know, you see those dudes, like the one-man band, and they got like a drum on their back, a cymbal, like a harmonica in their mouth. It just reminded me of that because you got to like stomp both your feet and like punch both your hands, and you just look a bit mad. Yeah.
That's the noise of it right there.
Like you do look a bit crazy, but once you get over that, it's quite fun. And there's lots of different things you can do within the game. You can like fly by holding your hands a certain way. You can become a giant by lifting one leg and one arm, almost like the Karate Kid pose.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the move called?
Mantis.
The crane.
Was it the crane? That's it. The crane. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like almost like that. So you have to hold one hand up. So it's not like that, but it's a whole hand up and a whole leg up, and then you turn into a giant. You know, I mean, that would have helped Karate Kid if he turned into a giant. You know?
Yeah. I mean, 11-year-old me wanted to be a Transformer and a Power Ranger.
Well, now you can.
Now I can.
But with a massive backpack on.
Yeah, I know. It's not that. What you got against the backpack, bro?
It's
It is quite chunky, I must say.
It's quite deep, isn't it? That's the thing.
It's very deep.
It's not like slimline. It's like, it's pretty chunky. Well, only because what I will say is the Switch has traded on being, just being portable, bruv. Their whole thing is like, you can play me in your yard and then unplug me and go and play me. Remember the advert?
Yeah.
He's on the train and then he's on an aeroplane and it's like, he's playing the Switch. Like, but yeah, the point I'm trying to make, it's not very portable, this stuff. Like, you know.
I mean, let's be honest on it. If you really wanted to wear it down the street,
you could
wear it down the street if you really wanted to.
You would look
amazing,
absolutely mental.
If you do that, you send us a picture of you doing that.
But
or
also,
video.
one of the Joy-Cons goes in the very back of the backpack. Someone could easily just like rub that out.
So you could de-Joy-Con it and then just wear it for the fun to your mate's house.
What, just for a laugh?
There are reverses modes as well. So if you had 2 of those, you can actually go to your mate's house and play it. I see kids loving that, mate.
You're gonna have to have a big living room for that with these 2 massive backpacks on your back, mate. You know what I mean? That's only going to work in America where yards are big.
All right, so in summary, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, you think it's a wicked product, fun to play, very big, need a bit of room for it.
Yeah,
and
it's an amazing idea, and I'll go on the record and say that I think Nintendo are definitely the most forward-thinking console developer, most definitely. Like Microsoft and Sony do their thing with the PlayStation and the Xbox, of course, but like Nintendo, they've just been there since the original Wii, I guess. They've just been trying to think of new shit to do, and this is just another string to their bow.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't work, like with the Wii U. And other times it does.
It's because the Wii U was just a hybrid of the Wii, and it just didn't offer enough. It was almost a hybrid of the Switch and the Wii in terms of like the wireless controller and trying to offer some portability away from the TV screen, but it just wasn't enough. It was just this weird, massive controller with a screen in. It just
it was a bit off key. David, what are your thoughts? I know you've not had a go on it yet, but what are your thoughts just looking at this device here?
I'm very interested. It's definitely, like Nick said, that Nintendo are good for that, for like game enthusiasts, I think. Like if you want to kind of push the boundaries and try different things. So I'd be interested to do it. This backpack, I wonder how comfortable it would be when you're playing though. Do you know what I mean? And it depends what you're doing. But I definitely want to try out some of these things here. Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot in here. It looks like a little toy shop in here, isn't it?
It is like a little toy shop.
It's cool. Like I've just picked up the motorbike. So
right, yeah.
The motorbike's good because it's got rubber bands inside that when you pull back when you twist the accelerator, it kind of pushes back.
Got the brake.
How close is that to the 172 Jalera runner that you had?
Well, I was just imagining that I was on a Yamaha R1.
Okay.
Or a Kawasaki Ninja.
Sorry to leave you waiting here, David, but I feel like what you do for a living is also kind of a killer bit, like, because we sometimes talk about shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. So what would you like to talk about? Because you've been up to loads over the last year or so, man, and like we're seeing some great stuff popping out from your side, man. What would you want to start?
People go watch Troy. Yeah. So Troy's on at the moment. It's on BBC iPlayer.
Yeah.
The whole series, and it was on every Saturday. The last episode was on, I think, 2 weeks ago. And that was wicked. Yeah, I did that in Cape Town, South Africa last year, filming, which was just, never been before. And I was out there for a long time filming, and it was just epic. Do you know what I mean? Like,
did you go Table Mountain and all that?
Yeah. Table Mountain, Lion's Head, saw the penguins a couple of times.
I've never been. It's one of the places on the list, man. Doing all that, like jump in a cage, have a shark around you.
Yeah, did that as well. And that
was you shook?
I was shook.
Yeah, I would be shook, especially because there's that video of the shark jumping in the cage.
Yeah. Luckily, I saw that after. But as we got there, actually, for that, they were giving us a safety speech, but you're in like 3 groups and you have a certain amount of time in the cage. And because they're unpredictable wild animals, they're saying, look, when you get an opportunity, we say, go in the cage to get your money's worth. So they're giving us the safety speech. And before they'd even told us basic things, they're like, oh, the shark's here. So get in. We're rushing, putting on the suit. Didn't tell us much about the cage and how to hold the cage and stuff. So I just went straight in. And before I knew it, they're shouting at me in particular, saying, your hands are... I was holding the cage. It wasn't like they were outside exposed, but they were like, you should be on this part of the barrier. They can still nick away at they could nibble if they wanted to. But it was fine in the end, and it was beautiful. Like they were just like majestic and
a little
beautiful.
Nibble.
Yeah,
didn't lose a finger there.
You have all your fingers.
I have all my fingers still.
Cool.
So but that's Troy. So go and watch that if you haven't yet, and it's on Netflix as well, worldwide. And on DVD, I think that came out yesterday. And then also, I did an episode of an Urban Myths on Sky Arts and played Freddie Mercury.
Oh, wow.
Which was a lot of fun, yeah. And that story was backstage at Live Aid and told the story of all of those myths and different rock stars and what happened backstage. And so Elton John's in it, Status Quo, Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, Sade, and it's a really fun episode.
Did you have to do any singing?
No singing, thank God, because I wouldn't want to put him to shame because that voice was amazing.
Well, the only reason I asked is just because like the listeners could clearly hear you got quite a deep voice.
Got a smooth ass voice.
And Freddie Mercury's famed for having
a little bit more.
But his singing voice is very like
different.
Very I don't think you'd be able to reach that even if you wanted to.
No, definitely.
I'll tell you what though, Nick, David made one heck of a convincing Freddie Mercury though.
I ain't seen it. I'll be interested to see that.
Like I wouldn't have thought, like if someone said, oh, guess what you look like, I would be like, I wouldn't have picked that out. But when I saw you dressed up like that very convincing.
Yeah. I mean, I can now that you say it now. I wouldn't have picked it, but now you say it, I can see it. But like, how long did it take, like hair and makeup and all of that for Freddie Mercury?
Well, they were gonna make me a mustache, but I was growing it anyway. And then by the time we got to the shoot, my mustache was long enough, and I said, "Just F it, let's just keep the it'd be always better that way instead of having something glued on you and then feeling uncomfortable when you're feeling and sweating and stuff. So it was my own mustache, but then I kind of wore it for a few weeks and went to auditions with it and met people, and they're like, that's a bold choice.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I can explain.
I'm playing Freddie Mercury in a minute, honestly.
Trust me, I swear to God I am. It's not a line. So yeah, and then everything else was me. And then, I had some prosthetic teeth,
right?
The upper teeth, because that was another very distinctive thing about Freddie. So yeah.
Have you ever been like properly in prosthetics before in your career? Because I done something a little while back, just on for my radio show on One Extra. We got invited down to a makeup artist who does like crazy monster like prosthetics, and she made me into a Minotaur. That's obviously like next level, because it's like my whole face was covered in like. Is it like latexy? Yeah, it's like rubbery stuff.
You look well different. Like
it was ridiculous.
Layers, yeah.
I mean, I would find a picture, but it'd take me forever to find it. But have you ever been made up into anything that you're not yet?
No, nothing like that. The only other thing I did, which was on Troy, funnily enough, was towards the end of the series, without giving spoilers away, I get mashed up quite bad. So there was a whipping scene. So my back they made like a rubber cast that would fit my back, and then it was actually rigged with some tubes that would like let blood out.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
They went in.
Yeah, they went in, and then there's scars to the face, and that took a while, but nothing like kind of Lord of the Rings ish, like goblins or anything like that. Nothing like that yet.
Your character really goes through it though in Troy though, don't they? Well, I don't want to give it away, but they have a real interesting time. How's the best way we can negotiate that happening without spoiling what happens in the show?
Well, my character's called Xanthias, and he's a loyal servant to Odysseus, and arrives with the Greeks and Odysseus at the beginning, but he's sent into Troy undercover. So he's the spy of Troy. I was the spy of Troy. So the story just goes that I kind of befriend some Trojans and get close to one family. So just like on paper for the drama, it was great because the character has like conflict where he starts to really care for this Trojan family, but they're meant to be his enemy. But at the same time, he's on a mission to protect Helen, and basically be the messenger from Troy to the Greek camp. And as a story kind of progresses, he gets deeper in the narrative basically, and the safety of Helen and the outcome of the war. And yeah, like everything after that, without spoiling it, he runs into some trouble, and but everyone does. It's like it's a story of Troy, like it's war. Everyone in some way gets touched by war in this show. So yeah, he went through it.
It's exciting.
When you're shooting stuff, I always like to ask actors and actresses, like when you're shooting shows, you hear a lot of people from that industry say, well, I've got no idea what's going to happen because when you shoot it, it's all in a weird order, you don't really know what's going on. But you must kind of get the gist of what's going to happen because you've been there and actually done it.
Yeah, that's true. But funnily enough with this actually, so my character Xanthias was an original written character for the show. Everyone else exists in some form in the Iliad, in the original text of Homer. So my character was brand new. So I had a new journey to play with, and I did kind of know the journey from the start of what would happen, but there were things changed as we went.
Right.
So at one point I was gonna maybe kill this person over here, and then that completely changed. But I made it out in the end. Thank God my character made it. But yeah, there were changes and tweaks as we went.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Something that we talk about, this is a quick digression, David, on the show quite a lot, is how Netflix is changing the way that because this is technically a tech podcast. I mean, a little bit today.
Yeah.
But we talk about how Netflix is kind of changing the way that we consume TV, and there's talk, episodes that we've had about Netflix wanting to take over cinema and even buy cinemas very recently.
Oh, wow.
From your point of view as an actor, like and especially you've worked on a production is it BBC and Netflix at the same time?
Co-production,
so what are actors' opinions on Netflix and the way they're kind of changing the amount of content that we're getting out there and how people consume it?
I think it's generally, from an actor's point of view, it's generally good because they're creating more work. All these streaming out, like Amazon and Hulu's, they're creating more work for us just on a ground level. There's more series. They're also longer periods of time, so you don't just drop in. You can, you could be part of a series now for a couple of months, and then you come back the year before if they green light it for another series. As a viewer watching Netflix, I know there's a lot of debates going on about, because did they get left out of some film festivals as well?
Yeah, left out of certain film festivals.
The Cannes Film Festival?
Yeah, and I think some Sundance, some other stuff as well, because they're not theatrical releases.
Because it only gets released
online straight away.
Right.
Bright, the Will Smith movie, which was Netflix only, couldn't be up for any awards.
And that was big budget as well.
Yeah.
There's been a few. I mean, like Annihilation. I think when I run into you, we quickly spoke about something like Annihilation. I mean, they're getting Hollywood budgets, Hollywood actors, I guess. I'm just an actor, really. I mean, I would want to work. I don't want to see any boundaries with that, actually.
Yeah.
I guess the privilege of an actor is you don't need to get caught up in those politics. Like, I just want to work on good things. And it can all be found, whether it's Netflix or terrestrial TV, people will find it. The audience will find it. And so with Troy, for example, we were on Saturday night on BBC, and we did well, but I think with the TV audiences changing anyway, like, my only way to gauge how popular it is was like social media, but Saturday night audiences with something like Troy might be a mature audience anyway. They're not on social media. So it was like, are we resonating at all? But we were. But then when we went on Netflix, it's kind of naturally a little bit more younger audience. It's international anyway. So then the social media traffic coming in from that was just more. Yeah. So it's not to say it did better or worse. It's just Netflix platform is more familiar with certain people. Do you know what I mean? And we heard that way. So, but then all the channels have online now. You've got iPlayers anyway.
But I hear what you're saying with Netflix, especially if it's a Netflix original, because that means it can, or a Netflix production or whatever, that means it will be in all the international markets, right?
I think so.
Generally, so for young British actors, I feel like it's a really, really interesting time, because not only are loads of British actors being taken onto, big movies anyway, but if you get a break on a Netflix series or season or whatever, that's international. Michaela Cole, who's been doing her thing over here for a while from Chewing Gum and stuff, but she was in Black Mirror. I think she was in, because was it season 4 just came out?
Yeah,
there's a lot of good Brits in that.
She was in season 3 as well, and I think she was a flight attendant in one episode on season 3. And from there, she's obviously kept that relationship, and now, like, she was in 2 episodes of season 4, I think, or maybe 3 even, and because of that, she's probably going to get more work now. Just internationally, and that as you mentioned, for actors can only be a good thing.
It is only a good thing. So from my perspective, I'm all for it. And like I said, I'm just more about like the scripts and the quality, and then the politics is outside of my realm right now.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's all good. I mean, look, it's competition, like if Netflix are making some good movies, they are making some good movies. I've checked out like Annihilation and I haven't seen Bright yet, but I think they're all good. So I think there's enough space for everyone, really. I think
that's good. It's interesting to hear it from your point of view, because we've not heard from what it's like over the acting side of things. And to actually further what you said though, Nick, Letitia Wright, she went the other way around. So Black Mirror, and then we saw her in Black Panther. And then, we're going to see her in stuff like, Infinity Wars and stuff like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. So Netflix is respected in the acting.
I think so. Yeah. All
right, cool. What's the difference between doing something that's like a real period piece and then stepping into some comedy like Borderline?
Well, the periods kind of come later, actually, the period work. So comedy I've done from the beginning, and actually Borderline was also picked up by Netflix.
Really?
So we got
getting that Netflix love out here, Netflix money.
So we were here in the UK, and then when it went international on Netflix, again, we just had this new audience in Canada and America and other places, and thanks to Netflix, like they picked that up. What's it like? I mean, it's good. I wanted to do something that, like Troy was, to be in that time, in that world, because usually, I guess, in more, I don't know, if something like The Crown, maybe, it's harder for me to fit in that world. But with Troy, more ancient times, I fit into that world. So it was good to do. But I always try and incorporate some lightness, let's say, in every role I do. So if it is still hard drama, I don't I don't restrict myself from being like, that character can't smile still or have a good time. Obviously, it might not be as big as say Brothers in No Game or Borderline, even though Borderline was mockumentary, so being big wouldn't have worked anyway. But it's about a character. Like, I think, I don't take myself too seriously with that. So I'll try and make the character. I like characters who enjoy themselves. So whatever you're doing, even if he's a bad guy, or like in Troy Xanthus is a spy, and you're reading text that it's so easy to feel like it can make you quite rigid, like you, Helen, my lady. Like, you can easily feel, but I think the point, and maybe this is why they wanted me and other actors to make it earthy, was a word I kept hearing, like to make it kind of natural versus too colloquial and too you got to connect with the text. So
did you work like a lot of your own stuff onto the script then? You'll get the script and then do you kind of, I don't know, like blur the edges between yourself and what you've been presented with?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got I've got quite a London accent, so I wasn't like out there like, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yo,
like
fam, what's going on? What's really good though?
You got your rhyme. It's so, but yeah, in terms of like using, I mean, I'm a big believer as an actor that your own life experience is your most valuable asset. That's your most valuable storytelling device. Like, you can't just like put on the skin of someone and think, all right, now I'm this. And it's got to come from your I'm instinctual. And so use your own experience, your own feelings, your own little ways and mesh that into the character. So it's 50-50. You build a character, but then you are you in every character. I don't care what anyone says. You're a bit of you in every character.
Do you do the staying in character thing as well? Because a lot of actors do that, don't they? They'll stay in character for like, especially movie actors, I've noticed. They'll be in character for like weeks in the run up to the film. And then when the film's shooting, they're in character.
Yeah. Sometimes when the film's over, they can't get out of character. Yeah.
I've done little bits and hints of that, but I would say I can understand why actors would do that, especially if it's a lead in something. It's more. I think it's more for a method of staying focused, actually, amongst the chaos of sets, lights, things changing, location changes, dressing rooms, back and forth. I think it's actually more for just to hold concentration. And keep one narrative going through the whole filming process, because obviously things can be shot staggered. You can shoot the end first and out of sequence. So I think for me, I would see it more as a way of just keeping something ongoing and staying in character. Or it would just be fun to try as well. Like I'd like to try it, but I haven't had to do anything quite as intense as like someone like Daniel Day-Lewis does and take on those roles. But then, I'm not at that level yet. I mean, hopefully one day, and then you might hear that, I won't let go of character. Marcus tries to call me, I'm not David anymore, Marcus. It's my new name.
David died.
Yeah, David died a long time.
New phone, who this? Man, wicked. And coming up, I see on IMDb, there's something called Tom that you're in.
Well, that's a short film.
Yeah, what's that about, a short?
Yeah, I did that just before I went out to Cape Town. That's just doing festivals at the moment. It's a short film, which was just a cool little kind of indie project. The director's kind of new. He's done a few projects, Duncan Christie, and I only had a small little part in that. But it was a production team that are coming up, so it was good to work with them and see what they're doing next and make connections that way. And but that's in festivals. I think that was at East End Film Festival a couple of weeks ago. It's going to play at one called Rebel in Plymouth, I think. So it's going around the country at the moment, that one.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And what do you bring to the table in that? You said it's a smaller role compared to some of your other stuff that you've done. But
that was just, so it's about two parents in Brighton looking for their son who's a drug addict or ex-addict, but they're looking for him, and he's obviously cut off ties with them. So they're on the kind of hunt to find him. And what's unique about that short film is that you never see, spoilers, but you never see that guy, Tom. You never see the son. So the story is told from the parents' point of view of their worry, their grief to find their son. And they meet a couple of his friends in Brighton. So I'm one of his friends who works in a shop, and they come and ask me about him. But I thought that was unique. You never see that guy. You just see the parents' despair, the parents' conflict, and how they're dealing with it. And so that's that short film. Yeah.
Cool. What's the best thing about acting? Like, I've got to be honest. I've had a little dabble, but I wouldn't say I've got enough experience. You're out here acting year in, year out. You've been doing so for a few years. Like, what's the best thing about it?
Business class flights.
Ooh,
Flying.
Yeah.
I did that for Troy. Yeah, that was the first time in our business class. And I was like, this is what?
Once you turn left, you can't turn right again.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That was nice. Now, the best thing for me is, it might sound really simple, but it's play. It's play. It's imagination. It's play. It's like a job where you can reinvent yourself. It's fun. I find it really fun. It's play.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I wanted to do it for a while. I mean, I'm a film geek before anything really, and it's evolved into TV. But I watch films and escaped in them and love them and those characters. So I wanted to exist in that world. So it took me a while to get there. But just in terms of, like, I moved to London, there was nothing really in Birmingham where I grew up for opportunities to do it.
Brushed off that accent, David.
Yeah, where's that gone?
A little
brushed
bit. Off.
Where's that gone, man?
Can you bring it back?
A little bit, you know what I mean? Like, if you like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Good odds.
I don't know, man. You're right, mate.
David from Birmingham.
From Erdington.
I'm from Dudley.
Dudley. But yeah, no, I moved to North London, so it did change a bit. And people were giving me the eye.
Yeah.
So I was like, I remember the first day in college, I had to read something out, and everyone was like, what is this accent? One guy was like, well, you're from Manchester or something. I was like, no, Birmingham. Like, there's a difference. But
you moved to North London, like, which is, there's quite a lot of Greek people in North London. Like, so are you Greek? What's your family?
Well, my family are from Cyprus.
Yeah, so Greek Cypriot. So you must have, like, fitted in.
Well, I didn't move to that part of London, and yeah, my family been brought us up very British.
Okay.
So I didn't really know about the Cyprus. When I moved here, people were like, yeah, are you Greek or Turkish? Like, I was thrown into this, like, take a side.
Yeah.
Whereas in Birmingham, I was just Dave.
Yeah.
You know, and my family's kind of mixed anyway. When you go back, there's definitely some Turkish in there anyway, and Middle Eastern.
But did they grow up on the Greek side of the island?
They grew up. They grew up in the north, actually.
So in the Turkish side.
Yeah. Before, and then it was invaded, so some of them lost some of their land. But yeah, they're a mixture. But like I said, I was brought up to not really think about that too much. But yeah, when I moved here, I was like that. Me and my brother were the only Cypriots really in our area in Birmingham. So they didn't know what that was. In the Midlands, it was definitely, it wasn't, you're not English. So, and I guess I naturally fell into friendships with my Asian friends, Caribbean friends, or African descent, because family unit. I remember my family lived across the road. My nan and granddad lived across the road. So we would always be with family. And that was the same for my friends that were, Jamaican descent or something like that. So we naturally shared that where, you tell stories about your nan beating you, like smacking you. Do you know what I mean? The food as well and stuff like that. So I naturally fell into that. But yeah, I mean, it depends who's looking at me. And I guess that's with other people that kind of look a bit ambiguous with their ethnicity. Like, it depends who's looking at me.
Yeah, see, no, I thought that you were definitely Greek. Like, that's just why I mentioned when you moved to North London, I was like I thought that you moved there because of family reasons.
No, not that.
Just because I lived in North London for a little. I live in East London now, but I lived in North London for a little while. And everybody always thinks I'm Greek wherever I go. Like everyone. When I used to DJ in Ayia Napa in Cyprus. Like, I'd be on a plane and then, like, Cypriot women would just chat to me in, like, Greek, and I'd just be like, my name's Nick as well, and like, classic like Greek name. It's like everyone would just be like, oh, well, you're not Greek. I'm like, nah. They're like, oh, you look it. You sure you're not? I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not. Like,
that's definitely, see, that's the thing as well. Like, Greek Cypriots look different from Greeks.
Yeah.
Because Cyprus has been colonized by everyone, so we look like everyone that's near us. Egyptians, Syrians.
I feel like that's quite similar to like Malta as well.
I guess,
like,
I've never been.
Like Maltese people, it's like, some people think that they're Middle Eastern. Some people think North African. Some other people think Hispanic even, or Italian. So
But I guess you can use that to your advantage though, as an actor.
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
It means
definitely.
you can lean in all those directions, and we've kind of seen you like The Night Manager, another show you're in. You play a guy's
Freddie
Arabic.
Hamid, he was Egyptian.
No,
Definitely. I mean, but I'll still want it to have legitimacy, like, and should. Like, I'm not going to play a role that is completely divorced. When it comes to ethnic background, you should be more cautious of it. So, I mean, my nan has always said for ages we have Egyptian roots. I actually do one of them DNA tests because for my own curiosity, and we have North African descendancy somewhere. But yeah, like it has worked out. But then sometimes the opposite can occur, where when they're casting a role that they want specifically a certain look, specifically say a more Iraqi look or a more Turkish look, or that can maybe not go in my favor because I look too much like bits of everyone.
Okay, cool.
So, but I'm just trying to be a dope actor.
Okay.
For all of that.
So do you kind of want to miss that typecasting kind of thing? Do you want to keep your roles varied?
Definitely. I don't think you can miss it, especially when you start out. And I'm brand new, I was brand new. So I didn't get any nepotism. I didn't get anything like that, and I've had to play maybe a few stereotypes or play a few different roles. But like I said, as time goes on, I hope they just see me for the actor and don't put anything on it. And just like David's dope. So like bring him in. Yeah.
All right. So we skip forward like 5 years. Yeah. You're a rude boy actor, even more so than you are now. You've got that producer money. Right,
boy.
You can make your own production. You got that Tom Cruise money. You got that Tom Cruise weight where you can greenlight stuff with just a phone call. What are you making, David? Because Tom Cruise will be like Mission Impossible 7, 9,
he's still knocking out the Mission Impossibles.
And I'm gonna do all my stunts. Yeah, I'm gonna do all my stunts. Yeah,
like I went to the cinema yesterday. In fact, I saw A Quiet Place, and there was the trailer for another Mission Impossible. I was just what the hell?
Go and chat to Tom.
He bust his ankle, didn't he?
Yeah, he mashed up his ankle. Yeah, like doing a stunt. You can find it online.
It's online.
And let's not get it twisted. He's not a young man.
Yeah.
And he's out here doing full action. But anyway, sorry.
It's like Jackie Chan though, bro.
Yeah.
It's like next level.
I just don't think you can talk to those guys, can you? They want to do the stunts. They want to make it real. So they're doing them like, whether it's strapping yourself to a side of a plane like Tom Cruise done in the last Mission Impossible. Anyway, you got that Tom Cruise money, that green light ability. You're stepping up to the table. What kind of stuff do you want to be doing, man?
Oh, man.
Will you be doing?
I think naturally we'd all want to tell stories that are close to us. So like I've got tons of stories about my family I'd want to tell, and just their journey of different things, of being in, like I said, Birmingham and in Cyprus maybe, and then in London, something like that. And then neighborhood story, like things that I've experienced growing up, something like that. Like, I mean, I'm a working class guy, so I would like to see some working class stories, more of those stories, and characters be glorified rather than vilified. And you can, like, for example, like, my area is quite tough, but I like games. So it's seen as a bit of a geeky thing. So I could mix with the guys that are a bit hard, but I could also go and be a total geek in my bedroom. So again, like stories like that, it's not just, okay, you're from like the estate, so it must mean you're tough in it. And well, yeah, a little bit, but then you can also be vulnerable. You can like other things. So stories around that world, if I was thinking, but again, I wouldn't want to limit myself. I mean, I love comedy, I like dark comedy, so something like, I mean, I love Four Lions. Have you seen Four Lions? Yeah, I love that film. It just balanced perfectly out this really intense, serious subject with absurd humor. And I was like, that was amazing. So something on that tone, maybe.
Okay.
Who's? I mean, this might be a cliched question, but if you could pick up the phone tomorrow to anyone and they say yes, like who would you love to work with? Like just one name, because obviously the list can be very long.
Anyone, like actors?
Yeah, like an actor. If you could pick up the phone tomorrow and be like, boom, me and you, movie tomorrow. Like, who would that one person be on speed dial?
So my two favorite actors still live in Forrest Whitaker and Gary Oldman.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So either of those guys,
right,
if we're reaching for the like the top. I mean, other than that, I mean, he's so, and I've been blessed to work with a lot of good actors like Malachi Kirby. I think is a tough actor. all the brothers that were in Brothers No Games, Efren, Jay, Isaac, I think they're all tough. So it would be like, and I'd want to do that. Like, I'd want to work with my friends, and I know sometimes you criticize if you see people working with the same people, not open it up sometimes. But if I had the ability and it was like a passion project, yeah, I'd definitely bring in actors that I'm a fans of and work with them. But yeah, Forest Whitaker, Gary Oldman.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with working with your friends. Seth Rogen does it all the time.
Yeah,
Just brings his mates in.
Yeah.
That film, The End. I don't know if you've seen it.
That is literally
crazy ass passion project of a film. But it's so good. I saw it on a flight to New York, I think. When I went to New York, I just I weirdly enough, I hadn't even heard of it. But I love Seth Rogen. I couldn't believe I hadn't heard of it. So I just found it and I was like, what is this? Banged it on. I was just pissing myself, man. It's just, they basically play themselves, but obviously cliched
versions
of who they are. And I just watch it and I think, I'd love to be in their friendship circle. These guys that just busting joke 24/7.
Exactly. Literally. Okay, so we asked you that question. I mean, Nick, who would you call if you could pick up the phone, actually, real quick?
If I had to pick one name, and this is probably super cliched, but I just love Denz.
Denzel,
yeah, man.
Okay.
I think in my line of work, I get to meet a lot of people. Even if I don't interview them directly for my radio show, there's lots of famous people that come into the building at work, at Radio 1 and 1 Extra. But I think if Denzel came in the building, I'd be gassed. Same as if even Samuel L came in the building, I'd be gassed. Yeah. There's only a few people that I'd be like that for, because I've met Jay-Z in the past, and I was excited, but I wasn't gassed. I met Drake. I've met quite a few people, but I feel like it's movie stars more than musicians for me. Maybe because we're a music radio station, and I'm so used to seeing music people coming in and out of the building. But when those big A-list movie stars come in, I'm always like, wow. Leonardo DiCaprio as well. Oh, actually, The Rock. Oh my God, I'd love to pick up the phone to The Rock.
Yeah, that would be that. Exactly. Yeah. Him or Big Willie would be me, Mr. Smith.
Just because
of the
There's so
history.
many, man. It's so for me to just pick one would be so hard.
Do you know what? Actually, you should just go to the top and say Scorsese. Yeah, hook me up.
Director wise,
bring me in, because then you get the pick of the bunch.
Yeah, Scorsese is tough.
All right, so we've gone through the best bits of acting. Who you'd pick up the phone to? What's the hardest thing about being an actor, though? Be honest with us. I know you're an honest guy, David. A lot of people be like, "Oh no, it's just all amazing," and just what's hard, man.
The older I'm getting, it's more security. And I'm quite brave, so I'm not too bothered about that. I don't let that drive what I'm doing. I started acting in 2008 when the recession started, and luckily I didn't know what the recession really was, so I was just quit a few other day jobs to do it, but then had to take them back up anyway. But no, the older I'm getting, it is more it's security. It's just okay, I'm in this kind of precarious career, which is exciting in one sense, but it is it can turn at any moment in a way, and it might not be your fault. But it could be the industry, the mood of it changes.
I mean, you're also within your career, especially the career of acting. You're essentially always one job away from making it big. If you get one particular job. I mean, look at all those people in Game of Thrones, for example. People that went into Game of Thrones at the start, they probably could never have predicted how big it was going to be. And now look, those people are set for life. And that's the thing that I always find fascinating about acting. You could get a script tomorrow for a show that is a great show. And you're like, I want to do this. And you could just be like, even if I get 1 or 2 seasons out of this, that'd be great. But it could be the next Breaking Bad, the next Game of Thrones, and then you're set. But then on the flip side of that, on what you're saying, that show might never come. It's I totally get that must be quite stressful, to live with those. You almost have to try and ignore those, not ignore, but don't let those thoughts govern your career.
Yeah, and they haven't. But like I said, I'm 32, so, and I still feel young and see that as young. But you just start thinking. When I started, I was 22. And it's different. It's a different time. So now I am actually thinking of mature things in the future and investments.
Brandy in hand whilst listening to
Kano,
cigar.
Yeah, so that's
the only way to live life.
But no, other draw like there's nothing else. I mean, nothing that's exclusive to acting. Really, every industry has it. You know, like you might work with someone you might not like, or you might have to take a cheaper job to get to the bigger job. So
I think at 32, you're definitely thinking about things differently to 22. At 22, you're not necessarily thinking about I want to get a mortgage in a yard. You know, but at 32, you're thinking about that stuff. And
exactly.
you know, children. If you haven't got children, it's very different time in your life.
Yeah,
you know?
That's it. Yeah.
So David, I can't not talk about your hair on the podcast. I mean, this is a podcast. You're using your ears to listen, but let me set the scene right now. I'm looking at some strong growth, some locks that are very smooth. Now, there's a secret to your hair, and firstly, I'd like you to divulge, or I'd like you to share. Share the hair skills. Yeah, it's a great story, Nick. And also, I want to know how you transfer this hair styling to shoots, because it must be quite an interesting conversation every time you talk about your hair.
So yeah, we was it in the last podcast we spoke?
Yeah, it was a Marcus.
Did I just drop it and your face actually was a bit like, what is that?
There's clearly a story behind this that I don't know yet, so I'm intrigued.
It was just that I found someone showed me a blogger online that does like hair products, natural hair products, and it was a friend recommended. This might work for you. So like wavy, curly, thick hair, and it's flaxseed gel. It's a homemade flaxseed gel that you make from flax seeds.
Okay.
It's that straightforward. But then you add like, you can add lavender.
How do you make it? Yeah, how do we start?
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
All right, I'm interested because I like the hair chat, you know.
Yeah.
Hair chat's big. So you boil up flax seeds, and after a couple of minutes, gel starts to be secreted from the seeds, and you filter out the seeds and the gel. You just like separate them, and then you let the gel cool down, and then you mix in the gel certain oils of your choice. So it could be lavender, it could be lang lang oil is one. It could be rosemary, and it's to obviously preserve that gel for as long as possible and give it a nice scent. But why that gel is good is specifically for like wavy hair, thick curly hair. It just it's a natural way of relaxing it, keeping it, just not leaving like residue after as well. Some of these gels can like obviously leave like bits or make it too hard and it damages your hair. It was just a natural remedy that I came across. And for someone who, for most of my life, I've had short hair. I used to just have a number 1 or 2 and a fade. And then I grew it for the acting more because I was finding I was being seen and considered for more roles as I grew my hair. But I'm quite a lazy person. Right. So it was like, I was just getting annoyed at my hair. This gel doesn't work because my hair is so thick, it just absorbs everything. And it's a Brillo pad. So this flaxseed gel basically was the best remedy.
Right. So now we know how you do it.
Right.
Does your agent have the recipe and send that out when you go on the job?
My whole team.
Or when you turn up on the first day, you throw a tub of it down, or throw the paperwork that the ingredients
I walk into the audition with a tub of it, and if you can't deal with this gel, you can't deal with me. So we're not doing business unless you're comfortable with that.
Okay.
But so you thinking about bringing out a line of hair care products?
You're forward thinking, Nick. Oh
trust
my
me.
God, Avery, the Avery range.
I'm saying, man.
Avery range.
Sounds
good.
Hey, your hair's. Oh, you know what? Your hair's looking good. Yeah, I got that Avery.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Man's banging on the Avery.
My goodness.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's definitely some legs in that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got the intellectual property now on how to kill an hour.
Officially, the IP is us. What do we take, Nick? 20%?
Yeah.
Each or 10 between us? Or 20 between us?
We'll have to do, I think 15 each is a good number.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think we could go on Dragon's Den with that. Do you think that's a strong Dragon's Den idea?
I reckon you just roll in the room with no product and then just start putting it in and they go, oh shit.
Slap it on.
Yes.
Yeah, don't say what it is. Just whop out the hob and the saucepan, boil up those flax seeds. They'll be like, what, are you cooking for us? You'll be like,
the little
dragons.
camper.
Just
watch.
No talking.
Watch, yeah.
Exactly.
So, honestly, like, when you get on set, do you talk to the makeup artist and say, listen, all that shit you've got over there,
all that L'Oreal bollocks.
move that.
Yeah.
It's not the one.
Slap your stuff down and say, this is it.
I have done that. I'm not going to lie. I've gone in and I've said, I respect your craft and do your thing, but trust me, this is here.
Yeah.
And if your stuff doesn't work, this works.
Yeah, how does that work when you go to like South Africa? Do you have to take some with you?
He has to ask them to grow flaxseed over there, his specific type of flaxseed. Yeah. He send the seeds in advance.
They did ask me before the job of like, they ask everyone your skin allergies or anything like that. But I ended up growing everything out anyway, and they didn't really use much product. So
right, okay.
That was fine. But other jobs, like with Freddie, because he had his hair slicked back and kind of wet. yeah, I had to warn them, and a few, like dabs later of this gel. It was like, no, we need more. And I'm like, trust me, you should like spray a little bit of water. I'm like, no, you get any more than that. I used to have to dunk my head into a sink and like really engulf it to be
fair. Could you not have used your flaxseed for that, or would that have not have given it the right consistency?
But I haven't made some in a long time. I told you downstairs, I haven't made a long time.
You need to make
Don't tell them.
You need to make up like just a vat of it, like a year's. Oh, but it goes off though.
Yeah, for every 3 months. Every 3 months you've got
quite a good shelf life though for something that's natural.
That's
and also, you said you were lazy. I'm lazy because when you started telling that story, when you were like, oh, you got to boil it, I was like, nah.
Already like that.
Yeah,
you switched off.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
Unless it's beans with my breakfast.
You got to boil that. Straight away. I checked out. I was like, well, you can't buy it from the shop now.
Not yet.
Oh man, right. So David, this show's called How to Kill an Hour. Right. How do you like to kill time when you're not working?
Well, I was thinking about this. I mean, of recently, because for a good while I kind of banned myself from my consoles because I love playing games.
Right.
But I'm still not up to date totally. So I've still got my Wii, I still got my PS2 and my PS3. So, and I like to replay certain games every year.
PS2,
definitely.
Wow.
Got the 2.
Yeah.
That's when the control pad's still connected to the console.
Wow, was it the slimline one or was it the fat one?
I had to update and get a slimline because my fat one broke.
Okay.
So I got a slim, but if I'm ever gonna go on my PS2, it's always either Warriors. Warriors is the one. It's my favorite. That's my favorite game. Yeah, it's my favorite game of all time. And then my PS3, I mean, I like God of War. I like the God of War games. I haven't played the new one, but I'm very intrigued.
New one's very good.
Okay.
Very good. Maybe a reason for you to buy a PS4.
Yeah, it could be. What was the other ones I've got? I mean, Fight Night. I like boxing games.
Right.
So I'd be prone to do a boxing game versus a football game. I like Pro back in the day.
Okay.
Fight Night, and what else have I been playing? Far Cry. A bit of Far Cry is quite good. That's what. If I'm
so, which Far Cry do you play then?
I got what have I got? 3 or 4.
Okay, because the latest Far Cry, I think it's time for a new console, man. There's some new titles out there, man. I don't want to tempt you though. I don't want you playing console so much. That's what I mean. You're not going out there doing auditions, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not making that flaxseed oil so that your hair's luxurious.
It's doing the gel.
It's funny though, isn't it? Like how retro gaming, it turned super niche, but I feel like it's making a big comeback in a big way. Like the NES Mini and the SNES Mini came out and you couldn't get hold of them for love nor money. People were reselling them on eBay and stuff for like hundreds over the retail price. I managed to get a SNES Mini actually, like from Game. I just rolled into the one in where I live and they had 2 in stock. So I was like, I should have bought the second one as well.
Yeah, man, But what are you playing on the SNES Mini?
Mainly Mario, Super Mario, like Yoshi's Island. You remember that one?
Yeah.
So mainly that, but I haven't played it that much because I bought my Nintendo Switch not long afterwards, and again on that I'm playing Super Mario Odyssey, and that's just like revolutionized my life really, because I'm just playing that on the tube, on the train, on the planes, on the bus. Like I'm just playing it everywhere.
I think I would go for a Switch. If I was to update before maybe PS. That's like
it's so portable, bruv. If in your line of work as well, you could if you're traveling to different places. Super Mario. Yeah. It's such a vast game as well in terms of like you might get through the story quite quickly, but you collect moons throughout the game, and if you want to collect all of the moons, that's a big job.
And Zelda is
an amazing game, and also with the Switch now, what you're finding is with other titles, they're starting to port them over to the Switch eventually. So kind of like when you release a book, you drop a hardback first and you drop a paperback 3 months later. You're starting to get games that are dropping 3 months later, the Switch version of it. And also now, increasingly, you're getting versions of the game out on Switch when your version releases as well. So, yeah, man. To be fair, obviously, I know we've played a lot of Nintendo today, so it's kind of at the forefront of our minds. But as a console, still a good console. Like Nick said, it's portable, man. Take it with you, play it on business class, or you can dock it into the TV as well.
Play it on the TV?
Yeah, so it comes with a dock. So you throw it into the dock that plugs into the TV.
Right down there next to Bill's foot. That's the actual console's in there. So you pull that out, and that's the screen, and then you connect the Joy-Cons to either side of it, and
that's the one.
Wicked, man. That's what's wicked. Right, anyway, I think it's time for us to get out of here, man. We've definitely killed more than an hour out here. Thank you very much for popping down to the show, David, man. And if we haven't already, I mean, I know I've already seen the show on the BBC, but Troy, we can check that out on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yep. BBC iPlayer here in the UK, but then if you're outside the UK, Netflix.
Okay, cool.
And once you're big enough, you know, and you need some like extras in some of your shows, you definitely holler at me and Marcus. You know, bin men, barmen, you know, all of them type jobs. I don't want like a cool job. I want like, you know, like you remember when Nick Grimshaw from the Radio 1 Breakfast Show was doing a thing where he managed to get into each of the soaps as an extra. Yeah. He was in EastEnders mopping the floor, and it's like you're right, Alfie. I was just mopping the floor, and then the next day he was like in the wall pack on Emmerdale, and the day after that he's in the Vic in Corrie. It's like proper sick.
I want that, man. Yeah, get a little one-liner. I'll take a one-liner. Hey, you dropped your wallet. That's what I want.
Exactly.
Right, okay, like super, like beyond prestigious. Yeah, so understated that it's so.
Yeah.
Or you're walking your dog and it takes a shit, and I'm like, are you gonna leave that there? You know what I mean? Like shit like that. You know, like that's what I want. You know?
It's done.
Yes,
it's
man.
Done.
All right. Well, thank you very much for killing some time with us. I've been Marcus Bronzy.
I've been Nick Bright.
David Avery.
Yeah, man. Plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us. Oh, before I let you go, though, don't forget, join the fam and find out all about the stuff that we're killing time with. Plus, we'll let you know when we've dropped episodes before anyone else does. All you got to do is go to howtokillanhour.com/news and we will sign you up. Click a link in the show description as well, because we'll put one in there for you too. Stay blessed.